Hello all, in this section we'll be seeing about HTML attributes. So we have already seen tags here, so just we'll see what an attribute is. So an attribute is used to define the characteristics of an HTML element and is placed inside the element's opening tag. So all attributes are made up of two parts, that is a name and a value. Okay, so a name is actually the property you want to set. For example, the paragraph P element in the example carries an attribute whose name is align, which you can use to indicate the alignment of paragraph on the page. Okay, and the value is what you want the value of the property to be set and always put within quotations. The below example shows three possible values of align attribute. Okay, so attribute is actually some extra information that you give to a tag. Okay, extra information. So if you see here, we have the paragraph tag and I'm telling align equal to left. So I'm giving some extra property to the tag. So the p tag already have some property, but if I want to give some extra property, I'll be able to give. Okay, so I'm going back to the code which we are doing, which we are developing. So in this example, if you see here, we have actually given some content using the paragraph tag. And if you look, we can see the left margin is actually properly aligned, but the p tag, without giving any extra attribute to the p tag will not be able to align the contents on the right side. So if you want to align both left and right side, we normally call it as justify, right? Okay, so if you want to align both the sides, we have to give some extra information. Okay, so we'll just give and we'll try. Okay, so I'm going to the p tag, the opening p tag. Okay, and I'm giving align equal to justify. Okay, align equals justify, and you have to give the property value inside the double quote. So this is the attribute, and this is the attribute name, and this is the attribute value. The attribute values will always be mentioned inside the double quote. So we'll save this and we'll go back and we'll refresh and see the output. So what happened is, like, the left hand side and right hand side is now aligned, both are justified properly. Okay, so if you change this justify to right, if you change to justify to right, and if you refresh, so what happens is that the right side gets aligned. Now the left side has lost his property. Okay, so I'll give justify. So this way, if you want to give some extra information or extra characteristics to a tag, it is possible by using the attribute. Okay, so that is the use of attributes. Okay, so we have different kinds of attributes, and some of the attributes we will be seeing in the later point, as they will be used with CSS, the cascading style sheet. Okay, so some of the attributes which we can see inside HTML ID, title, class, and style. Okay, so as we know, ID is for uniquely identifying something. Okay, for example, you have maybe 50 students in class and you have 5 students with same names. You can give them a identification number, a register number. Likewise, if you have 5 tags, you can separate them separately or uniquely identify them by giving them a unique ID. Okay, and another thing is, like, another kind of an attribute is the title. Okay, so the advantage of this is that, so if I'm trying to give a title attribute to my h1. Okay, so I'll give here title equal to, so I'll type here welcome to Kerala. Okay, so welcome to Kerala. Sorry, Kerala. I'll save this and we'll go back to the output and we'll just refresh. And so if I place my pointer on top of Kerala tourism, we can see some message, right? Tooltip being displayed on top of Kerala tourism. Okay, welcome to Kerala. So that extra property has been applied to the my h1 tag. Okay, so some extra characteristics like these can be applied to the tags by using the attributes. Okay, Now, another attribute is the class attribute. So the class attribute is used to associate an element with a style sheet. That is, we will be using this attribute when we are using CSS for applying some set of properties. If you want to apply some set of properties, user-defined properties to a particular content, we will be able to use a class attribute. Okay. And another, so that we'll be seeing in a later point in time when we are discussing the CSS. Okay. So now another property, another attribute is the style attribute. This is actually a inline CSS. Okay. Since we are discussing the attributes and the kind of attribute, we are discussing it here. Okay. So this is again an attribute. This is a attribute. Okay. So we can give extra information, like we are giving style and we are changing the font family color to another color. Okay, for example, like if I'm writing like style, I'll write it here inside h1. So I'll give style equal to, I'll write color colon maybe green. Okay, and I'll refresh this. Okay, and I'll refresh this and see. So what happened is, like, that particular style property, the color has been changed to green. Okay, so similarly, for like we can give any kind of user defined attribute which is accepted by HTML, and thereby we will be able to convert it into, or we will be able to present our data in a required format. So this is the use of attribute. That is, we can actually give user defined characteristics. We can give user defined characteristics to our elements. Okay, thank you.